If you really don't trust me, come with a real. You hip in the front seat, get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sick and I on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin. Yeah. I'm okay.
What up? Welcome to Woodward Heavyweights Live on WoodsportsCom. I'm Easy. That's Spinball Rax.
Hi.
That's Young Chris. He's wearing a hot dog suit because he lost to Pick'em. Things are as they should
loser.
be.
Yes, sir.
Nicholas Koloff on the ones and twos.
Avoiding the suit proudly.
Can you put the camera on Nick real quick?
Yeah.
Nick, what are you wearing underneath that jacket? What you got, like a hoodie on or something?
Yeah. You may be insecure about the purple in it. So
yeah, okay. I figured.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to call you out. I like you changed it. That's smart. I can't even do it.
Screw
because
the
Nick
Ravens.
guaranteed the Ravens would smack that ass.
Yeah, he did.
Last Friday. And I gotta respect it. I said it and I backed off. I got scared of you fucking golf gobblers in the chat. But we have another special guest before I get any further than that. Lucas Klutz. Thanks for joining, man.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be back.
Thanks.
Your
Spinny.
presence.
Just want to get out the way. You off your chest.
Yeah.
Michigan State
Yeah.
got their ass whooped.
Yeah, they did.
The Lions got their ass whooped.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
Alexander
that's tough.
Volk announced he got decapitated.
Yeah, he did.
How you feeling? How was your weekend?
Rough weekend. Worked through all of it. I had to fucking sit on a goddamn live stream for a couple hours for both of those ass whoopings.
Yeah,
And
sucks.
just
That
take
was
it.
tough.
So that was awful. Red Wings look good though. Red Wings look real good. So that made me happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a rough fucking weekend for your boy.
Red Wings look damn good. Goddamn good. Text whatever you're about to say. Lucas.
Hold on.
Oh, well,
Do it on break. You're good.
okay, cool. Sorry for you, buddy. Sorry for you.
Yeah, you know, it happens. I knew the Michigan State one was gonna happen.
Yeah.
So that one
Hurt less.
it hurt less. I did not know the Lions one was going to happen, and that, you know, coming back-to-back nights, not even 13 hours after I had to watch Michigan State get that ass whooped, I was sitting there, and the Lions were playing like kitties.
Did you get
bad.
to watch Volk get decapitated?
No, I did not.
Chris, do we have the pictures from that
Yes,
one?
we do.
Cute throw them things up.
That was gruesome.
That
Especially
was-
like
it was
after
bad.
he got kicked and he was like on his on his knee.
It was rough.
Yeah.
And I'm just getting this out the way because we are UFC fans and we will talk UFC on the show. That was a big fight. If Volk was winning though, like he was winning the round.
Yeah.
And then there was one body kick. Me and
Boom,
Lucas.
headshot, dead.
Before that one, he was like, whoosh, and like in an arena full of people for like some shit to echo like that. It's like
Yeah.
that bitch like landed, and you heard the whoosh before, and then
Seconds
Then that
after.
happened.
Moments
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
disaster.
I was telling Lucas too. Like they say, like to not get knocked out.
Damn.
What?
Detroit Dabber 313 says Spenny got Eiffel Towered by the Harbaugh brothers this weekend. I did. I did.
You
Fucking
did.
Harbaugh family ran a train on me this weekend, and they did not buy lube.
On some Russian
No Vaseline.
Moose Lamb guy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Islam Makhachev though. That showed a whole nother like level to his game, and I have like, bro, he might become lightweight GOAT.
Good.
He very well may become, because like the one thing Habib didn't do was that.
Yeah.
And Volk is like nothing to sneeze at. He was literally winning that round, and
Yes.
he just that was nuts. We will talk about the Detroit Lions game. I will get some things off my chest.
And I had to pay student loans this weekend.
That's a double fucking.
It's just like,
Gruesome.
yeah, like I said, I'm gonna have to start selling blood and semen, preferably at the same time.
I want it.
I feel like you devalue one or the other that way, but we'll figure it out. We'll keep you guys updated on that one. There will be negative parts of the show, and we're just gonna get out the way with the first segment. Lucas is here for it too, for reinforcements for y'all. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on that matter too. But then after that, positive things. Just moving on from it, because it is what it is. I know you guys, most of you guys that are watching right now are a fan of the network, and you just heard the same shit all day about the Detroit Lions getting their ass whooped. You also got to witness it. We're not going to harbor too much more into it, but we'll get it off the chest. How about this, though? This is what I am excited to talk about, and I'm glad this happened, so we don't have to talk about the Ravens game as much. Bayard to the Eagles. Things are happening.
It's scary.
In our conference, too.
Eagles just keep doing it. Eagles just keep doing it, man.
So do the Niners.
So do the Niners. They know that they have a winner. They know they have a chance, and they just keep giving their quarterbacks and giving their head coaches fresh clips of ammo.
Yeah. That's what you got to do. And a lot of you guys out there, again, I'm telling you, too, a lot of these players, Lucas, that's what I told you, like, till 42, because we're talking trades after.
Yeah.
Because
They
Brad,
better.
time. Hey, we got to shake, Brad. You got to get active, fam.
If they don't make a move, man, it's just like I still love Brad Holmes, but then I will be especially with how they've been using certain players, like, and they don't make a trade after it. I will definitely be raising my eyebrows and like, okay, I was with you, but now you're starting to get me to question some of your like philosophies here.
And I tweeted out this weekend too. And I'll go as far as this. And again, we'll talk about the segment itself a little bit later. But if there isn't a move, Spinny, throw the season away.
That's what you're doing.
We'll make it past a wild card, and that's a punt on the season at that point.
That's what you're doing.
In my opinion.
If you don't make a move, if you don't bring in help. So we'll see. There has to be a move made. I trust Brad to make a move. I think it's going to happen. So we'll see.
Obviously, you guys know
we only got a couple days left.
We're going to re-up on those MVP odds when it comes to NFL MVP. I won't mention any names, but we'll re-up those. Check them out. How about this, though? J.J. McCarthy, odds favorite to win the Heisman Trophy after Saturday.
Yeah, I mean,
the best odds.
I mean, Michael Penix. Michael Penix had a bad game, so that's why the odds shifted. Like, nothing he did in that game should have boosted his odds. He played a MAC team. Like,
but to number one, that's kind of like because J.J. McCarthy had a bad game. It's like a recency bias. What do you feel about this, Lucas?
Did you see that Michigan just jumped Georgia too for the odds-on favorite to win the Natty?
Michigan went up number one?
Yeah, so Michigan's number one. They're like plus 220 over
I don't
Georgia
hate that one, to be honest with you.
I mean, I can see why, but
With
just
Brock
when you
Bowers
break down
down
game for game as far as the McCarthy and Penix thing, like, Penix had a shitter this weekend, but it was against a Power 5 thing. And I'm not saying, like, JJ shouldn't be in the contention for, like, I think JJ should be 2, but I still think Penix is 1.
Dr. Clappencheek says defend the Glen is dead AF.
Defend the Glen is not dead AF. We'll get in that, too. I mean, I'll discuss a little bit now, but let me ask this from you guys. Rank, like, if you had to put money on it, who you putting your money on to win the Heisman as of now?
Michael Penix.
Penix still?
Yeah.
Lucas?
I'm probably going to go with JJ. I'm going to go with JJ just because he has just the easiest pathway. And, like, I think, and Booner brought this point up originally, the Pac-12 just going to eat themselves alive. Like, I don't think Washington goes undefeated, and I could very well seeing Michigan go undefeated in the regular season.
Yeah.
And there'd be 2 huge wins over Penn State and Ohio State if so.
Ken says AG sucks.
Who sucks?
AG.
AG. I mean, I when I saw it last night, I already saw the comments creeping. Or maybe it was this morning. I just
you can't defend it.
In this, every time there's a bad game or a loss, it's going to come. They're going to come. They're going to say fired Aaron Glenn. It's just never going to mean anything.
I mean, you can't victory lap on golf and then defend Aaron Glenn.
I'm gonna. Aaron Glenn had a bad game yesterday.
He's like, you're about to see that.
You said what?
I said you can't victory lap on Jared Goff and then defend Aaron
But
Glenn.
I'm just not at fire Aaron Glenn. That's where I'm not at. Is fire.
We're just
Aaron
at
Glenn.
cut.
That's all I'm saying.
Trade Jared
like
Goff.
there's certain situations that they're gonna say it every single time. I get it. These are the non-ball knowers, and we love and respect them because there's just more of them. There's more people in this world walking around that don't know ball than there are that do.
Yeah.
And that's what non-ball knowers do. I get it. Aaron Glenn, I'll get straight to it actually. Starting Will Harris at the outside corner position, that's where I'm on Aaron Glenn's ass.
That's egregious.
That's where I'm on MCDC's ass. I can't defend that shit. That shit, as soon as I seen that come out, I'll screenshot the fucking and send it to Chris if you want. I texted our fantasy group chat we got, we're cooked.
Yeah.
We're cooked. That's a former safety. Move to like a nickel cornerback. He's serviceable there. Start him on the outside. It's fucking egregious. Think back when we had Jeff Okudah and Amani Warrior. He wasn't even starting around then. There's no way in hell he should have ever been the outside cornerback in that game. And guess what happened? Boy was getting cooked.
He was.
It was ugly. Brother.
Linebackers got cooked. They couldn't contain.
It
Defensive
hurts,
line
bro.
got cooked. They couldn't get any pressure on Jared Goff, on Lamar Jackson, or they weren't trying to. I can't tell you how many times I saw the linebackers whiff on assignments, miss the guy, whether it be a tight end, a running back, a wide receiver, just let him run free and then
Fullback.
get cooked. Yeah, a fullback. Yeah.
Yeah, that was blitz.
It was terrible.
I mean, there's a couple rookie mistakes, a couple good plays by Jack Campbell. You saw his like athleticism and link come into play, but I mean that's actually nothing. I'm giving you nothing good. There's nothing good coming away from that game. Maybe
It's facts. Jameer Gibbs,
but that's in the second half after you're losing the game. Like Jameer Gibbs did in garbage time. Got a Gronk hold him the worst.
At least Kirby Joseph made some great touchdown-saving tackles.
Yeah.
You can rely on him for that.
and he got speared in the face.
Yeah,
by OBJ.
I
that shit
missed
was
that.
dirty, dude.
I missed that. And I saw you commented. Did you see that, Lucas? Yeah, I missed that one too.
He speared him right in the head.
If it's available
OBJ.
on Twitter, anybody that's listening and you have me on Twitter, can you send that video to us so we could get it up here? I missed that. I did see Amon-Ra St. Brown get flipped.
Yeah.
That was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was.
And Ronnie Staley blocked Kirby like into the third row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ronnie Staley's a fucking dog.
What's going to happen? It's just a bad look. It's
Yeah.
For PR standpoint.
Entire bad look for the entire team. Top to bottom. Jameer Gibbs is the only one that you can be happy.
I think
with.
Laporta had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
I'd say. I mean,
Mon-Ra still led the
we're
league
really
in
picking at
catches
nothing to grab on here, but I think Laporta had a solid game.
Shit was terrible. Top to bottom. Everybody should be ashamed. It was awful.
Just like it's tough to say there's a bad game within a win, it's tough to say there's a good game within a loss.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And let's get this off the way, too. It was a team loss. They win as a team, they lose as a team. Matter of fact, I think Dan Campbell said that in the press conference. It's probably where I got that from. It's how it's been. That's how I viewed this team. Outside of last week, the team won last week too, though, actually, because the defense stepped up and shut them down. But JG did his thing on the offensive side after Dave Montgomery went down. But obviously, Dave Montgomery's a big piece of this offense. I'm not saying we would have won with them, but I think things a little bit different. We would have paced ourselves. I feel like we would have been no 3-and-outs at least.
Yeah.
I don't know, Nick. I know you got to be feeling good though because you're a Michigan man
And a Ravens fan.
and a Ravens fan.
Everybody chill here. I have season tickets to the damn Lions, 4-year season ticket holder. I bleed blue, Honolulu blue that is, and I am pissed that the Ravens completely took over this game. I would love to be in Chris's wiener costume right now and the hot dog suit. And I'm pissed off. This was such an ugly, embarrassing statement game. It was supposed to be a close game on the road. You're contending with another Super Bowl contender. And it just was not that. This was a complete stinker. Goff looked like absolute dog shit. He can't throw the ball on the road, in the wind. And this defense just completely tore him apart. He looked like a JV quarterback. It was brutal.
It was brutal. It was tough to watch. You know, there's a couple things we can take out of this weekend. One of them, Nick's a big Ravens fan. Let me tell you about Big Boy. Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. And craving chicken, they got Dolly's chicken sandwich or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert. They got the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, funnel cake fries, and much more. All of that at Big Boy.
And tell us about Feldman, Easy.
I'll tell you about Feldman. Feldman, there's 18 locations across the great state of Michigan. There's a Feldman Chevrolet just in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the closest one nearest you. And Woodward Sports is there every other Monday at Feldman in Novi.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equipment Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot off the press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Fall is the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance and make sure you're doing it with the best. That's my guy, Mark, over at Swiss Insurance. You email him at mark@swissins.com or go to swissins.com by itself or call him at 248-800-4177.
Check it out.
Check it out. What up, though? Welcome to World Heavyweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. Sorry for Michigan State fans. Apologize to Lions fans and Alexander Volkanovski fans. We're gonna.
What happens if you're all three?
You're you, and you're picking on Nick.
Yeah,
you're taking it on Nick.
Ravens fan.
You were going hard at Booner.
Me and
Saturday.
Yeah.
I was going
That
hard
was
at
You were going
comedy.
hard. Yeah,
That was
Booner? Yeah.
Yeah, you're going hard. I felt kind of bad,
Oh, yeah. I love getting him going.
and it was just him too.
Yeah.
It's like you're scared.
What's going on here? No, it's flannel sandwich.
Booner's like, where are we going?
What are we doing here? I love
Live
getting
stream,
Booner
this guy
riled up.
smacked his helmet like.
Oh, yeah, I was
3
slapping the
times.
shit out of his helmet, too.
Who, Booner?
Booner, yeah. He put on the
Oh,
Michigan
no.
helmet. He said next to me, I was slapping the shit out of
They
him.
don't
How
have
do you-
pads, right? Just
No.
yeah, just Lucas's has pads in it.
How do you not take off the helmet after the first slap?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. I think Booner
Yeah,
walked into that
that's
one.
on him.
It's Booner.
I
That's his own
concussed him.
fault. I'm getting it out the way, guys. I'm getting it out the way.
And he's taking the headphones off and everything.
They don't work anyway, so it's whatever. But it's a day where it can be said. It's a day where it can be recognized, and I'll leave it there. And it's always been, for some of you people who've been listening for a long, long time, this has already been spoken of well before this season. This is my fear, or I guess reserve with Jared Goff, is what we witnessed yesterday. That's what you get. Well, one quarterback on that field yesterday looked like a $200 million quarterback, and it wasn't Jared Goff. When this in cold weather games and the windy games on the road indoor, he could ball there, or against tough defenses. This is what you get. We were down Dave Montgomery. He is a big part of this Lions offense. Jared Goff, as I've given him praise, is one of the best quarterbacks in play action.
Yes, he is.
He is. With no Dave Montgomery, it's kind of hard to get that play action going.
That's fair.
Jahmyr Gibbs put up numbers in the second half when the Ravens kind of had that thing put away. In fact, you saw the second string players in the second half. Lions kept their stars out there. But this is that was the difference. What you witnessed yesterday on the field was the difference between a true top 5 $200 million quarterback versus what we have, which is still good. But my argument has always been not that top 5 $200 million quarterback. That's always been my beef. And it's because of this, the fear. You sign him. You lock him up to that franchise-crippling $50 million, $60 million, however, whatever amount of money you want to put on it. Heavy fucking deal.
Yeah.
You lock up Jared Goff. Because he's doing really well behind Ben Johnson. But then even with Ben Johnson, on the road in games like that, cold weather games, which is when the Super Bowl played, when the playoff games
it's
played.
played indoors, though.
But when the playoffs played, that's when it's cold out, right?
Yes.
And then those December games matter. Those January games matter. That's where you want those guys to step up. Oh, the win. Lamar threw 357 yards in the fucking win yesterday. I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah, he did.
I don't want to hear that shit.
It's the same weather.
The line, listen, to begin the game, they were straight outside the Justin Matabuke sack. But when you're down that much, they're pinning their ears back and they're going because they know you have to pass to fucking come back in this game. You're down 21-0 for Christ's sake. And no, Will Harris and AG didn't perform well at all either. But you ink Jared Goff that big deal. Ben Johnson becomes a head coach. Now you're fucked. Look at Patrick Mahomes without Eric Bieniemy. Has he been the same?
No.
You scratch your head this season. Like, where the fuck's this guy been? Showed up yesterday against the Chargers.
Yeah, he did.
But he knows the Chargers very well. Plays them 2 times a year. How about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Trash.
How about Jimmy Garoppolo without Kyle Shanahan? He has Devontae fucking Adams.
Yes.
Don't give me any excuses, Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Josh Jacobs.
Garbage. Matter of fact, Lamar Jackson's a better passer with a new offensive coordinator, too. These coordinators matter, bro. You ink this guy up to a long deal contract, you're fucked, Lucas. You're absolutely
You're not
fucked.
I
Dak Prescott,
understand.
more, too.
I understand what you're saying when you say if you sign Jared Goff to some contract like that's mega fucking huge, that you're fucked because you can't sign anybody else. But the fact of the matter is, Brad Holmes, when has he made one egregious deal? When? He's been balling on a discount this whole time. And now, if you want to,
I'm sorry. You said who's been balling on discount?
Brad.
Oh,
Brad
okay.
Holmes.
I thought you said Goff was-
No, Brad Holmes. He's
right.
been pulling in David Montgomery, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cam Sutton. They're all on discounts. So if Jared Goff gets extended here, Brad Holmes knows a way to just configure around it. I guarantee that's why they're taking all this time. You can backload that deal. If you sign Jared Goff to a 3 or $50 million deal,
You're
that
fucked.
will not be. In 2 years, that deal you could easily move off of. In those 2 years, you could be building Hendon Hooker with whoever the offensive coordinator is.
Lucas,
They're not just going to go from Ben Johnson to
will
absolute
we have Ben
death.
Johnson in 2 years?
No, you won't, and
We're fucked.
that's a reality. That we won't have Ben Johnson.
I know what I'm saying. We're fucked.
No, if you just act like the Lions aren't ready to address the offensive coordinator, like Detroit would not be a offensive coordinator friendly situation where other offensive coordinators, other coaches would want to go and coach in Detroit. Like, that's not the case. I'm sorry. Like, Detroit will figure it out. Like, they're not just going to go from Ben Johnson to shit. I don't think they're going to get better than Ben Johnson. But even if they do Tanner Hankstram, like, he's been around Ben Johnson, they're going to have somebody ready, and they're preparing for that. With Brad Holmes, you re-sign Jared Goff, you still have Brad Holmes drafting for you. Detroit's also going to become a destination even more where people are going to take a bargain to sign here. Just take the 1 year deals where it's like, oh, we want to go chase something real quick, let's do it. And Brad Holmes knows, like, we could still re-sign Panay, Hutch, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. You re-sign all those three, you are good. You are good. You have your guy in the trenches, and you have your guys on the outside. That's all they need to do because you can keep drafting that talent. Laporta, his contract doesn't come up for how long? Brian Branch doesn't come up for how long? Jahmyr Gibbs, how long?
4 years.
But in playoff season mode, late December, January, this is the guy you're getting. Even in the Jets game last year, or the Giants game, he won those games. It was cold out. Giants game, look at the numbers. They had like 173 yards. Defense carried us. God bless Aiden Hutchinson and whoever else got turned over that game. The Jets game, a little short route to Brock Wright, took it to the crib. Thank God for him too. This is what you get in that cold weather moments, and that's the guy you want to pay $20 million to. Tanner Strand, can I tell you guys something? That's Ben Johnson's protege, right?
Yes.
He's like the next incoming offensive coordinator. So if Ben Johnson becomes a head coach, who's to say he does not go in with them become his offensive
Well, you can do
coordinator?
the same thing where if you upgrade Tanner Strand to offensive coordinator, he can't accept the. He can't.
No, because
be
it's an
taken.
upgrade for him too, though.
Well, then what happened with Ben Johnson?
What it is, you can't retain them.
I get what
based
you're
off
saying,
if
but
they're
that's
getting
just
upgraded too, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's just such a dramatic situation. Like,
Because
very rarely does an
that
organization
the Lions will like find someone. Like, oh, they'll find someone. I can't do that. I've been watching this league for a long time now. I've seen these guys fall once these coordinators go. Matt Ryan and Kyle Shanahan, another example of it.
That would be true though if this team, like, they have so many positional coaches that are ready to go. Like, they just are, like, if Kelvin Shepard, like AG leaves, Kelvin Shepard, I'd be perfectly fine with him as DC. Mark Brunell, if he has to be it for a season, I'm just naming out names, but I'm saying like Antoine Randall. There are guys that are still in the system right now that can just go up. They have somebody ready. And the other thing is this team is built organically through the draft. So we don't have, like, Philly right now. They just re-signed Jalen Hurts. They got A.J. Brown on a huge deal. They got Fletcher Cox on a not very convenient deal. Like, they have contracts everywhere. And they're good right now, but at some point, to your guys' point, it's going to crumble because a lot of those pieces are free agents. The Lions are not in that area right now. They haven't brought in those huge free agent deals. Like A.J. Brown, that is a huge contract that they have to absorb. Jalen Hurts, huge contract. Layton Johnson's on a like a $40 million contract for 1 year. Like, they're doing it. And you know what they just did? They just traded for Kevin Byard. They re-signed a guy, and they're still pulling in pieces.
Yeah, see, I think this game tells us something, though, that this team is still a gap away. They still need more. They still need to bring in more pieces, to bring in more talent, to bring in more guys here and there. Another pass rusher, another corner, somebody out there, guys that can help this team win. And it would get crippled by giving a contract to a guy too early. But again, I don't know what's going to happen with the contract. I don't want to pile on Goff too hard, even though he played like dog shit, and you can't really defend him after that. He's been very good for about 16 games. So I'm not throwing him away or throwing him in the trash yet, but I'm with you on that. I'm with you on the contract shit. So we'll see, man. We'll see. But this team still has a gap before they want to really be contenders.
I'm not trying to pile on him at all, too. This is just like a moment where like everybody kind of like witnessed like him in those situations, and it's like it's just I'm able to connect easier on the topic with it. I'm really not trying to like pile on him or shit on him at all. I'm just trying to like. This is what I've seen. This is who I know him as, and it's not like he's like been in the league 2 years and like, oh, this is upside, this is upside. No, this is who he is. He's only gonna get older. That arm's only gonna get a little bit weaker, and I know he's young now, but that's where I'm coming from.
So my question to you is, what's the difference? And I'm not. This isn't a shot. Like, I'm genuinely just because you kind of are on the anti-Goff side when it comes to the extension.
Yes.
What's the difference in yesterday's performance with Jared Goff and the last 2 games from Josh Allen? Like those stinkers from Josh Allen.
So even yesterday in the game with Josh Allen, he gave them an opportunity to win the game.
Okay.
He went down there with, I think it was like 1 or 2 minutes left, and they scored. And it just so happened to be the Patriots took it down there. Josh Allen has no effect on defense, just like Jared Goff didn't yesterday either. And the Patriots scored to win the game.
Yeah,
There's 12 seconds left in the clock for Josh Allen. Just the last week, though, too, difference in Josh Allen. You witnessed it here in Detroit on Thanksgiving, by the way, too, last year. Like when the tough got going, like Josh Allen drove the ball down there and they won the game. Jared Goff had opportunity to hit DJ Chark on a wide open route, fucked it up. There's a difference there. Even like last week against the Giants, Josh Allen, fourth quarter, what'd he do? They went down there and won the game. Now, ultimately, too, this defense shit the bed again when New York had a chance to win. But in those clutch moments, Josh Allen was able to make big plays to get you down there. Same with Lamar beat us.
There's a difference between a stinker and just having nothing. And they had absolutely
saying,
nothing. When you have an elite talent or somebody on that level, they will enhance the play of others around them, and they will find a way to do it. I understand you can't do much when your defense is giving up 28 points in the first half, but you can still put drives together. You can still count on yourself to go out there and make plays. And the quarterback position is the most important position by far. You handle the ball. You have the most say in the game. And if you have an elite caliber player on there, they will put you in situations to where they can make something happen. The Lions offense was not put in any situations where they can make anything happen. They were 3 and out for the first 4 drives. It was awful to watch. There was nothing happening. There was no juice. And if everything if everything is failing around you, how do you perform? That's what I look at for an elite talent, for an elite caliber player. If everything around you is going down, is failing, how are you performing? What are you doing to try to up that stake, to try to up the caliber of play for the players around you? And when everything was failing around him, he failed. So I understand it's not completely his fault. It was a total team loss.
I'm not trying to pile him again. Just yesterday's performance opened up the connection for a conversation. The other part too is every quarterback's a system quarterback to a T. That's why I think Josh Allen looks a lot different about Brian Daboll. That's another example of a guy losing to an offensive coordinator. But it's like when those plays break down, are you able to, like Lamar Jackson, for instance? Everyone's like, "Where's the pressure? Where's the pressure?" It's Lamar fucking Jackson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, there was pressure. He just Lamar Jackson out of the fucking pressure and found lanes for him to throw the ball. That's what Lamar Jackson does, but that's the difference right there. Is like making the plays when shit goes down. And that's we don't get that too often. It's just not, again, he's a good quarterback. It's just not worth the $200 million, $50 million a year, whatever we're talking here, to where like if Ben Johnson's walking away, I'm confident with being stuck with that. I'm just not. And to be honest with you guys, I know people hate to hear it, but that is why they drafted Hendon Hooker. Just for the hopes. And I'm not telling you he's gonna be better. I'm not guaranteeing that, but there's a hope that he will be, just like Jalen Hurts was that situation with Carson Wentz. It's just the way of the league these days.
Let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Five Iron Golf Leagues, the best sports bar downtown is finally here. It's 5 Iron Golf. Make sure you check them out. They got 13 track meet simulators, a full bar and restaurant, plus instructors in case you suck like me. Make sure you guys visit 5irongolf.com. Tee up good times. Use promo code 10 for 30% off. hope it's promo code 10.
Promo code Woodward 10.
Just count by 10. Woodward and count by 10 so you get something. Something's there, I promise. Hit that like button, 5-star review on our podcast platforms. I'm Easy, that's Spinmo Rex. Yo, Chris JB Smooth is gone, so we got Nicholas Koloff,
yes, sir.
a.k.a. Detroit Mustache, Detroit Mario. Lucas in the building. I promise you guys I'm not going to pile. I don't want to be negative, but if you want to carry on the conversation, I'm down. At some point, maybe you guys want to call in. Maybe I'm down too. But I kind of want to move on from the game. They lost as a team, by the way, too. I'm getting that out there, too.
I want to talk about the defense.
100%. Okay.
We got to pile on the defense. That is, if we're going to pile on Goff, we got to pile on the defense.
Again, I wasn't piling on Goff. Just open up the communication on just like the project. That's why I don't want the contract.
And the defense is absolute dog shit. Nothing they did was working. They made no adjustments. They could not stop the Ravens in any facet, whether it was running the ball, throwing the ball, anything. There was lack of assignments. They looked confused. They looked ill-prepared and out-schemed. It was a failure by the coaching staff. It was a failure by Aaron Glenn, and it was a failure by all the players. There's nothing else you can say. There's nothing you could take away from this defensive performance and be like, oh, but this looked pretty. No, it looked terrible on all fronts. Like I said, the linebackers got absolutely cooked. Our corners were getting absolutely cooked. The safeties were out of position. The defensive line couldn't get any pressure on Lamar Jackson, and when they did, they weren't bringing him down. They weren't bringing him down. So you got to do better, flat out. Coaches, Aaron Glenn, players, you have to do better. If you want to be considered contenders, if you want to be considered a real team, you have to do better than that. That is a disgustingly pathetic performance by the defense.
When Lamar Jackson's on, this is what he does. This is why you have beat reporters in the press conference asking Dan Campbell, hey, are you having nightmares about this man? This is what Lamar Jackson does. You can get pressure on Lamar. Lamar's going to break the pocket, and he's still able to make the play, whether it's on his feet or just throwing the ball. It just so happens to be in this Tom Munkin offense, he's throwing the ball. And like and like the place where they did get out schemed, a perfect example on the Pritchard catch, the 29-yard catch. Where shout out to Kirby Joseph for making the tackle on that refrigerator of a fucking human being.
Yeah,
that guy is terrifying to tackle. Shout out to Kirby for that.
Like Spenny running on the field.
Yeah,
like,
and I don't know if that's like it was up to Barnes' discretion to blitz there.
You could tell Campbell blitzed, and then Ricard kind of like did just like a block and release, and when Barnes saw Ricard block for 2 seconds, he went, and then there was nobody.
Yeah,
exactly. And it's like that's schematics, but there's certain plays where it's just like Lamar Jackson's gonna fucking Lamar Jackson, and I can't discount that part of it. Obviously, Will Harris out there, that's where I'm gonna bitch. That's where you hear some shit from me. Why? I just feel like you consistently know what you're gonna get from him. I'd rather give like the 50-50 flip on a Stephon Gilmore or something like that, versus like allowing Will Harris. Like that's an executive decision by both Dan Campbell and Aaron Glenn, putting Will Harris out there. Not just putting him out there. And I don't want to disrespect him like this. Starting him and just keeping him on the team. And here's one thing too, and I get Brad's been working the phones. I don't know what type of conversations are being had when it comes to that secondary. But if you knew this is what your secondary depth, if you knew at some point in the season you were going to start Will Harris on the outside cornerback, or not that you would. You had to know that you would, but you know that that's the situation you would be in.
Get hurt.
If you knew that's the situation you were going to be in, why the fuck do you allow it to happen?
He addressed the secondary. We can't do that now because in the offseason it was like, oh shit, Brad Holmes transformed this whole secondary. He got depth. He brought in Cam Sutton. He brought in Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He brought in Emmanuel Mosley.
You're down two guys.
Three. You're down three guys.
Who's the third?
Jerry Jacobs, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, and Emmanuel Mosley were all out of this game.
I'm talking about the outside corner situation. If you knew your depth was depleted, like if two guys go down and that's like who you're relying on, fuck that, bro. Fuck that. If I know that's dog shit and you're fucked, you got to do something about it.
How many teams can withstand two starting outside corners going down 49ers? And being why? Because they have Nick Bosa and Javon Hargrave and guys that harass the quarterback at all times. Not a lot of teams in the NFL have starting caliber corners at fourth string. Like that's what happens. Injuries happen.
I just from the point
that's what I'm on their ass about.
I'm completely for what I get what both sides are saying here. I get what you're saying with like not many teams can go down two corners. But the fact of the matter is that you're just addressing a constant issue and you're just using the insanity route with Will Harris where it's like you're putting him back on the field and you already know what you're getting.
I'd rather
so if
see
that
Stephon
situation
Gilmore.
comes, why are we still in that? And it's the same thing where it's just like their failure to trust some of these players to grow where it's just like on the same side where you see like J-Mo. Antoine Green's out there instead of Jamison Williams. Why? Like some of the I get that we're sitting from behind the scope and we're not in the locker room or anything like that. But some of these things are just, they're very questionable in just how they're going through it. And it's just, it does not make a lot of sense. I can't connect the dots.
I would have rather seen Stephon Gilmore on the outside than Will Harris as well. Like you said, we know what Will Harris is. No offense to Will Harris, but we know what he is in this league. We don't know what Stephon Gilmore is. He's shown things. He's shown things in the preseason. He showed things at camp that give him a chance. But not a lot of teams can handle 3 injuries in their secondary to prominent players. And
I'm
just
not,
be like,
I'm
oh,
not,
we're
I'm
still
not
putting
even
out
considering
Pro
3
Bowlers.
injuries, though, because I'm looking at specifically at the outside corner position.
Okay.
Like CJ GJ's a nickel and safety. He's not an outside corner.
Who's the 4th-string corner on the 49ers?
I don't fucking know. I don't
Exactly.
cover the 49ers.
You're going to put guys out there that are fucking
No, I don't cover the
nobodies.
49ers. I cover the Detroit Lions and watch the Detroit Lions. Everybody and their fucking mother knows that Will Harris is not an outside cornerback, let alone just viable enough or liable enough to be on the fucking field itself.
I'm just saying, when you have 2 of your guys that were, one was going to be the starter, one was going to be your backup, both get injured and miss a game, there are not a lot of teams that are like, oh yeah, we're bringing in a Pro Bowler that is our 5th guy off the bench. It doesn't happen like that. And yeah, would I have rather seen Stephon Gilmore than Will Harris? Yes. But they were kind of hamstrung when you have that many injuries in your secondary.
You make signings, bro. That has to be addressed. And Brad Holmes has that leisure.
Bro, it's just, we have 19 fucking mil in cap just sitting there. Like, that's where I get annoyed. It's just like, you don't have to go get a Pro Bowler, but you can go get, and I'm just throwing the name out there, like a Bradley Roby, an Eli Apple, like somebody who's naturally got drafted to play the cornerback position. You're drafting, or you're putting out a guy who was drafted as safety. Like, that doesn't happen. When has a safety ever worked to transition to the outside of the cornerback position? It doesn't, because safeties are not, they don't have that range, they don't have that quickness, they don't have the fluidity of a cornerback. That's why they're a safety.
Yes. That's where I'm at. As an outside corner, that depth needs to be addressed. It probably should have been addressed as soon as Emmanuel Mosley went out. Dan Campbell, and it's not like they're stupid. They know these things. It's just weird blind faith in Will Harris being able to play that position for them yesterday. It was not going to work.
Yeah, that's inexcusable.
Coupled with, again, Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jackson, but you got Brian Branch and Jack Campbell out there who at moments yesterday looked like rookies. One of the touchdowns, I don't remember who it went to, Aguilar. That was on Brian Branch.
Yeah,
but it was Lamar Jackson.
He had
Lamar
10
Jackson.
seconds, literally 10 seconds.
But that's
to
what
throw
I'm
that
saying.
ball.
Though. That shit's going to happen when you're playing Lamar Jackson just in general. But, again, Brad Holmes, Lucas, I don't know if you want to. I want to talk to trade market because something popped up in my phone before we hopped on the show today too. Yahoo Sports senior NFL reporter. I don't have the name, but he's linking. So there's a team out there trying to trade for Brian Burns, and there's another team leveraging against them, or Carolina's leveraging another team's offer against them, and this team thinks it's the Detroit Lions. Does that perk you guys' ears up? Do you guys feel a little bit better?
Yeah, Brian Burns would be awesome. If we had Brian Burns there, that would definitely make a difference. You need a secondary pass rusher. It would be amazing to have. We'll see, man. They got to do fucking something. You got to do something. You got to get. You can't just stand pat at the trade deadline. I would lose a lot of faith if you stood pat at the trade deadline.
If they stood pat at the trade deadline, and I'm not saying it, that same old Lions shit.
Yes.
That is just like, all right, we know what we got. We like what we have. Just you're not looking to get better. The other 2 teams in the NFC are constantly making moves. The elite teams in this league constantly are making moves. If they see somebody else does something, they go right back up and they make a move themselves. That's what the Lions need to do. That's what Brad Holmes need to do. If Howie Roseman makes a move, that was because John Lynch just made a move. Those 2 are always counter trading with each other. Brad Holmes need to get in the mix.
Absolutely. And I said at the beginning of the show, if they don't make a move, by the way, I would love Brian Burns. You guys heard my favorite would be Chase Young.
Yeah.
I saw Jonathan Allen after the game yesterday. Yeah,
7 fucking years.
More bombs in the freaking heavyweight show. That was crazy.
Yeah,
that'd be a piece I'd be looking at. But I witnessing Will Harris out there, bro. I kind of want. It doesn't have to be a star.
Yeah,
you don't have to go and grab
Marcus Peters.
They got to get a corner.
This report. This is Charles Robinson. This is like the headline. I'd have to post the whole article to get it in there. But So there's another team that's trying to trade for Brian Burns right now that thinks it's the Detroit Lions are being leveraged against them. And this is from a senior NFL reporter from Yahoo. I think that gives it some legs there a little bit. But I'm cool with Brian Burns. I get a little bit more turned on the idea of Chase Young. But after yesterday, bro, the secondary. We need.
You got to get somebody.
We need somebody. A breathing human being that can play outside cornerback is not named Will Harris. Because I get it. They are there every day in practice. They see Will Harris versus Stephon Gilmore more often than I do.
For me, there's no way Stephon Gilmore or Chase Lucas.
It's Steven.
Steven. Sorry.
Steven Gilmore
Give him a chance to make his name, man. Put him out there.
I want to hear his name called a couple times. There's no way Stephen Gilmore or Chase Lucas can be worse than Will Harris. There's no way.
Khalil Dorsey even.
Yeah.
That's the name I was looking for. Dorsey or Gilmore was who I was expecting to step up, but no. We got Will Harris. And again, Will is so cool.
Steamy Flapjack, Desmond King got released.
Got released.
Perfect.
Bring him in, bro. Bring him in.
You're not expecting that guy to
native.
transcend the secondary. You're just expecting him to hold his own. That's all we need right now.
A break glass in case of emergency guy.
Yeah, exactly.
The break glass in case of emergency guy can't be Will Harris. If you want to be a serious team, if you want to be a contender, if you want to be something on defense, a top 5 defense, your break glass in case of emergency cannot be Will Harris. It needs to be somebody else. It needs to be somebody who can do something. Will Harris looked good when he was at nickel. He was doing things. He wasn't getting absolutely torched. But your outside corner break glass in case of emergency cannot be Will Harris if you want to be a good team.
And again, Brian Burns turns me on. But immediately after yesterday, Chase Young turns me on a bit more. But immediately after yesterday, that quarterback depth is like number one for me.
I would say just because of how important, like when you talk about going up against the Niners and the Eagles, I would go end or just some type of interior rush as well, but then corners right behind it.
Yeah.
I think the fact that we're getting Jerry back, like
Yeah.
at least you have somebody that can hold their own on the outside right now. It's like people that can hold their own by like rotation. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to moneyball a defensive end right now. It's like just go get a defensive end.
Yeah.
Elway says every time I see Will Harris, I lose confidence in the defense.
Bro, as soon as I heard he was the starting quarterback, I said, we're cooked. And then the game starts. Oh, there's 20-mile wins. Cooked even more.
Yeah.
There's your offense.
Zay Flowers.
Your defense died with Will Harris, and your offense died with the wins.
When I saw Will Harris
gone
out
with
there
the
trying to
win.
guard Zay
Detroit Lions
Flowers,
offense.
I was like, yeah, this shit ain't going to work.
Cooked, man. Cooked. I got to tell you guys about Fairway Pack Company. When we get back, more about Detroit Lions trade rumors. Some positive things, too. Maybe talk a little bit Jameer Gibbs. But I got to tell you, because for over 60 years, Fairway Pack Company has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today and visit the steak shop over in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
How would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. You can do that with Syntron. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. You can do that at drinksyntron.com/Vegas and buy Syntron at your local Meijer store. It's Syntron, the healthy energy drink with great taste for the people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best versions of themselves. Go to drinksyntron.com/Vegas for more information. Wow, wait.
Check it out.
What up, though? Welcome back to the World Redweights Live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm your boy Easy Joe, my guys, Spin More Rax, Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, Lucas Klotz. Hit that like button, 5-star, on all podcast platforms. Oh, I thought you raised your hand. I apologize.
No, let's give it a little fist bump.
All right. The reason why the trade deadline is such a it's critical for me. I'm like stuttering on the words because it needs to fucking happen. I just put up a poll in the Woodward Sports chat. Do the Lions need to drink a trade, or do you have faith in Jared Goff to carry us to the promised land? No, it's not. I'm about to say, hold up. Yeah, man.
I always vote for the bad option when you put up a poll. Every time.
You're one of those guys?
Yeah, every time.
One of those guys. The thing, too, is like we had this conversation 2 weeks ago, and we were being told wanting a trade was an SOL trait, but you see that the teams that are contending for championships year in, year out are making those trades. I mean, just again, today, Bayard went, by the way, for a 5th and 6th rounder. That's not even that much.
And safety.
Yes, Edmonds or whatever,
Yeah.
which, I mean, I'm fucking...
Don't disrespect the Edmonds family.
And Edmonds family. Lucas, we don't have you on the show too often. Obviously, I think I know what Spinny wants, and I know what I want. By the way, I understand Brian Burns is like the number one option, but like it's also one of those pipe dreamy kind of options where it's like for sure address the goddamn secondary. But,
Yes.
but what is your wish list, Lucas, for the Detroit Lions?
I mean, number 1 would be Chase Young. 2 would be Jonathan Allen. 3 would be Jack Jones from New England. I just any of the New England. I like
Chargers in Detroit though.
I like Jonathan Jones a lot.
What do you mean? It's way easier to get away with them here.
I like Jonathan Jones there as well. Judon even. I think there's a couple pieces you can
Where's
take
Brian
away.
Burns rank within those?
Judon's hurt, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's
Yeah,
out.
I don't care. No, I didn't realize he was hurt.
No, you're
That's
good,
my
you're
bad then. Where Burns would rank, he'd probably be. Did I say him yet?
No.
He'd be after Jack Jones. I just
Okay.
think when you start like looking at it, it's just like he's elite against the pass, but he struggles a little bit against the run. So I
Yeah.
think Jack Jones, if you put him in a man-to-man scheme with Aaron Glenn, he already thrives in it with Bill Belichick. I would like Budda Baker too, especially the fact that we just see these safeties getting hurt, and he can even play nickelback. Trying to think.
That's true.
That's who I'm just thinking off the top of my head.
Why not hop in on that Tennessee fire sale? Why not look at their
Jeffrey
secondary?
Simmons.
Why don't you grab a Sean Murphy Bunting?
Ooh.
Why
Sean-
don't you grab a Kristen Fulton? Why don't you grab a guy like that? Tennessee's obviously throwing everything away. They're selling everything.
Rumors of even Derrick Henry getting
Why
traded.
not go over there, scoop up a fucking cornerback like a ground ball and bring him to the Lions? I'm just saying, man. We definitely need somebody back there.
What is like the asking price you think on those guys?
Just depends. New England, they usually don't get like crazy returns.
Yeah.
They usually just like, is what it is. We don't want this dude anymore. But that's why if they were to get rid of a guy like Jack Jones, they love it. Probably be like 2nd round pick. 'Cause
Yeah.
he's young and he's on a rookie deal.
Yeah. I think too is like Jalen Ramsey, like say what you want. I know there's like a lot of like meme narrative going behind him because of last year or the Super Bowl or whatever, but like he went for a 3rd round pick. And I feel like that's not, you have 2 3rd round picks right now.
Yeah, that was.
So I feel like you still get a premier talent on like one of those like, one of those 3rd round picks and a 6th or something.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is the true value of Brian Burns or Chase Young in your eyes?
Brian Burns is higher.
They were
Brian Burns-
asking multiple first last year.
Brian
Yeah.
Burns' value will be much higher than Chase Young.
And is he? They can still franchise him next year, right, Brian Burns? Or yeah, they can franchise him next
Yeah.
year. They just didn't re-up him. So they could keep him, I guess. Chase Young could be franchised too.
Chase Young can be franchised. You got to get an edge player and you got to get a corner, in my opinion.
Nicholas Koloff, Detroit Mario, avid Ravens fan.
Noted Ravens fan.
How can we?
Y'all gotta cut it with that bullshit. I'm big on Brian Burns. I think Aiden Hutchinson needs a guy on the other side, and with our ends not getting any pressure whatsoever, it's making the secondary look way worse. And obviously we need another outside corner spot. It sucks that Mosley went down because he was supposed to be this absolute dog on the other side of Sutton. But I think Brian Burns is that guy. I'd be willing to give up a couple seconds, honestly. I trust Brad in the later rounds. I would give up 2 seconds. I would re-sign Brian Burns, connect him with Hutchinson for the next 5 years. I think that solves a lot of your problems on the defense is getting 2 bookends.
Well, go ahead.
I'm comfortable giving up a first.
I was going to say that too.
It's not ideal, but like if you get a Brian Burns, like instead of taking a 1st round draft pick, play Brian Burns highlights. You know what I mean? And wait for the 2nd round, and you can get a 1st round value.
Lucas.
If you drafted a Brian Burns, by the way, like pick 26,
Yeah.
or I'm saying like we're picking late.
Yeah.
So it's like the draft is in Detroit though. Armani numbers did bring that up. Obviously, you probably like to see someone drafted here in Detroit.
I don't give a fuck
I don't care,
about that.
bro.
Do not give a fuck about that.
I'm with you.
They got to walk the stage because the draft is in Detroit in the 1st round. No, the fuck they don't. They
Yeah.
need to get a player to help this team. And if Brian Burns costs you a 1st round pick, you do it.
Yep. Chase Young, is he 1st round value
No,
to you guys?
nah, not a chance.
Yeah.
No?
I think if Brian Burns is, Chase Young is.
Yeah, I think
No.
Chase Young is too.
Why not?
No, he's injury
Did you
prone.
watch
This is
Chase
the last
Young
year of his
this
deal.
weekend?
They're not going to ask for a 1st for him. Well, they'll probably ask for a 1st for him, but
Yeah.
they're not
Yeah,
going to get him.
absolutely.
They're not going to get a 1st for him.
Did you watch Chase Young this weekend?
I
though?
did. He's a monster.
You don't think?
But he's not. He is a depreciating asset, a distressed
sometimes.
asset. They're not going to re-sign him. They would have franchised him if they would have. They are
same
selling.
thing can be
They're
said for Brian
selling
Burns.
Chase Young. Yeah, but Brian Burns, I think he's got another year, doesn't he?
No, I think this. Remember, he wanted to sit out because he didn't get re-upped. This is Brian Burns. The same situation. Brian Burns, though, I don't think is he coming off his rookie deal.
Yeah, Brian Burns.
So this is his fifth year option.
This is his fifth-year option, 16 mil.
And obviously they didn't pick up Chase Young's fifth-year option, but look at him now, bro.
Chase Young's so much better against the run is my thing.
Do you think either of those guys are? I can see Young maybe going for a little bit less just because of the predicament they're in with like him and Sweat
and injuries.
Honestly though, I don't see Young
one
getting
injury
moved.
though. Really, the ACL. He was gone for a while. He's been good ever since.
He played 9 games in his sophomore year, and then he played 3 in the following one.
This is the third year or
This is
fourth
his
year?
fourth year, but he basically played
Because he got hurt. He got the
12
ACL in the
games
middle
out
of the sophomore
34.
year, and it carried into last year. It's only just the ACL. I don't understand like why they're so like.
Greg Rounds makes a good point.
What does he say?
Says a 7th rounder for Myles Garrett.
Yes.
You know,
be a great one.
Why haven't you called the Browns on that?
What was it saying anyway? Chase Young, something about him. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but he would just be like, talk about a move just to counter Kevin Byard. That would be the definition of it. Like
That's
a guy
just
that,
too, man.
because he's played like all these like upper echelon teams too. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he knows what he's in the NFC, so he's playing the Cowboys. So you got to beat later on in the season. Every year of his career, he plays the Eagles, who you're gonna have to get through. If you do that, and he's played the Niners as well. Obviously not twice a year, but he's played the Niners multiple times in his career, going up against Trent Williams. Like I get he's an ACL like worry, but at the end of the day, like every player in the league is going to have a major injury. Most of them do at some point in their career. You'd rather have it early on than and later on when they're in their prime.
And again, Wilson, and I just said this to Nick too. Wilson comments: these guys are complaining about Brad bringing in injured players, but want Chase Young. Chase Young had literally just the ACL. He got hurt midway through that sophomore year, and the ACL takes time to come back from. Then he came back in the back half of the third year. Fourth year, fucking killing it. I don't understand where this injury narrative is like.
People forget that Nick Bosa tore his ACL.
Yeah, I don't understand like the injury history thing.
And
yeah,
if you
I'll take Chase Young. That'd be cool.
You watch in the last, even just you turn on the tape from yesterday, you're like, holy shit, who is this guy?
Dude, he's all over the place. We were watching back at Mike's house Thursday Night Football. Even in the getting his hands up, he was everywhere, dude. What was that, little Jared Goff?
No, that's when I went under.
Oh, yeah.
Facts.
Put
Lucas in a box, seeing Chase Young go hard like that.
Chris, you want in on this?
Yeah, I mean, I like Chase Young. That's the one I've kind of convinced myself. I was, in the Patrick Surtain camp at one point, just because I love corners. But at the end of the day, this corner room needs a capable body. It doesn't need a top tier, a top end talent. What needs a top end talent is a defensive line, because that is what's going to allow pressure. And that's this point that Spenny's made a million times on this show that I agree with 1,000% is, who are San Francisco 49ers quarterbacks? Well, I'm giving Spencer the credit because I like him. As Spencer said so eloquently, San Francisco 49ers quarterbacks, you don't need to know them because that front line is just so monstrous. And so I think that that is the foundation of a good defense, especially in today's era. So that's where I'm at, is Chase Young. I'm still Max Crosby, but I don't know. The Raiders seem to just do whatever. So I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure if they're ever going to sell, but at the end of the day, I like Chase Young the most and Max Crosby. Just get that defensive line and get a star too. We talked about depth for a star. I'm at the point star, because this game was something to me.
I don't see this team going past the wild card weekend if they don't address. I mean, I agree.
In a big way.
Yes. Yep. Either address the secondary with some depth, or just get me a star to at least cover that up. I know there's a couple of stuff going on with Danielle Hunter. I know the Detroit Lions have traded with the Vikings in the past. I don't see that happening.
The Vikings have just gotten fucked over by the Lions too much, man.
Yeah, like they already got. It's a interdivision trade. Like I
we
really
gave
don't
them
see
we
that
gave them
happening,
ammo to make their trade last year when we sucked.
That is true. Very valid point.
Yeah, they thought they were getting over on us.
Well,
I don't think they feel this way. They give us Danielle Hunter, and we just injure their $50 million quarterback. That's who's guaranteed on his deal, if I'm not mistaken, too.
He's gone.
He's gone.
Think he's getting traded? He's not getting
he'll
traded.
just
He's got
go.
trade clause, I think. Or
yeah, he said he's not going to use it though.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think his contract's up, isn't it?
Still
After this year? Yeah, I think he's just going to be like gone.
No clue. I know Chris is a big Kirk Cousins guy.
Well, I mean, I'm not a big Kirk Cousins guy. I'm just like, the market is is always open. You know, like,
Yeah.
he's
man.
in demand.
I don't know if this is a thing or not. Some people are talking about Devontae Adams. I don't know.
Kirk Cousins' contract ends after this. Well, it's void. You got void years after this year.
Give me defense.
That's what I'm saying, though. Like,
Defense,
if the Lions really wanted to move Goff, like if they signed that ugly deal, like Kirk's deal was disgusting. Like it'd be way like more annual salary than I think Goff would get this year, just like on a basis scale of just like proportions. But like you can move off of Goff like in 2 years if they're like, okay, this shit ain't going anywhere. Let's go, Hendon. Like they can do it, and then you know what you get back? You get more pieces to build around with Hendon.
That's why I'm thinking like this year or next year though with Goff, because 2 years time Ben Johnson's gone.
I think Ben Johnson's gone after this year regardless. I think all Lions fans should just prep for that. I think the Lions organization should prep for that.
That's my fear. That is my fear.
That is scary.
It's
Goff
scary,
with no
but
Ben is no bueno.
just reality. It's just the reality of the league, and I think Brad obviously knows that, so he's ready for it. You know what I mean? He's not wanting it to happen, but it's not like he's not preparing for it to happen.
Let me tell you guys about Woodward Knights. They come on after us. They're from 8 to 10 in the nighttime. It is Booner and Broder weekdays from 8 to 10 p.m. Make sure you guys check out Woodward Knights in the nighttime. Booner and Broder only on the Woodward Sports Network.
Check it out.
Now let me tell you about Hamlin Pub. Have you ever wanted a place where you're a regular? Hamlin Pub has just a place for you. Head to one of Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. They have a bunch of different food options and deals depending on the games. If there's a football game on or any Detroit sports game, you can find some great deals, including half-off pizza on Tuesdays. So make sure you guys go to Hamlin Pub to check out their game day specials.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions, featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit, as the sun begins to set. 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Guys, Bullseye, Long Drink. They got the best tailgate party in the D. Make sure you guys are there for Monday Night Football. The Detroit Lions bounce back game at shed number 5 in Eastern Market. Make sure you're there. Up until game time, they'll be there. And they'll be shuttling you guys, your drunk asses there after the fact, too. Go to bullseyeeventgroup.com to purchase your tickets or for a chance to win free ones. Lions VIP to Woodward Sports on IG.
Check it out.
Check it out. Check it out. What up, though? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. I'm Easy Eskimo Rax.
Hi.
Young Chris, Nicholas Koloff, a.k.a. Detroit Mario, joined the show. Shout out. Now we got all the negative stuff out the way. Which the trade stuff was a negative. That was kind of good. I want to move on.
Oh, everything looks negative in here.
Everything looks negative in here? Yeah, there's just another one that's negative, maybe. All right. You want to do one more negative one?
Sure.
I think we already answered it, though.
What?
We got to do contenders or pretenders?
Yeah.
The Lions contenders or pretenders? You guys want? Because I'll tell you, no.
Yeah.
They're not.
As of right now, they're not contenders.
We were saying it. I mean, Nick, actually, we don't have you every day. Does that change your opinion on Detroit Lions being contenders?
We better not have to go on the road in the playoffs. That's what woke me up. Jared Goff cannot go into Philly and win. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I truly feel he will not be able to go into San Francisco and win a game on the road in any sort of condition that is not optimal for him. It scares me. Yeah, this woke me the fuck up.
And I saw a comment in the Sports chat. It's on Doctrine Mins.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. I don't think they're contenders as of now. they're going to have to make a move if they want to be contenders, if they want to hang with big guys like the Eagles, like the 49ers. We see these guys constantly making changes, constantly making things happen, so they're going to go out there and take care of some business. But, man, it sucks. It sucks to say that because we had so much faith in them. We had so much faith in them to make sure that they could do something. But as of right now, it's not looking great until they make a move for somebody.
Sorry if you guys hear some buzzing from the microphone. We'll have to try to thug through it. But, yeah, I have them as pretenders for that very reason. I mean, look at the best teams in the division. You're already up against it on top of everything I told you in the first segment. I didn't want to pile on, but pretenders.
You have to. That was a wake-up call for this Detroit Lions team. They showed they can't go on the road. You can't go on the road. You can't hang with a team like the Baltimore Ravens. That was extremely evident. And yeah, you can say it was one bad game. It was one stinker. Contenders don't have stinkers this bad. Contenders don't have stinkers where they lose by 30 points, where their offense doesn't score a point in the first half, where they make sure they have to make sure they're doing something. You have to make sure that at least some facet of the game works. And nothing was working for the Lions at all.
Yeah,
I think I figured out this thing.
Yeah, you're good.
That's why this game hurt for me is because I just know that looking at the rest of the schedule, I mean, we had that conversation all week, right? This is probably the hardest game left on the schedule. There's a couple games that you would say are difficult, but this was the most challenging game left on the schedule. And so for this to go this badly, yes, you're going to expect to stomp the Bears, the Packers, the Vikings throughout the rest of the season, and the Broncos. But at the end of the day, this was like one of your last real chances to go toe-to-toe with an elite team, with a potential Super Bowl contender.
And know what you are.
And know that this is what you bring. And so there's a part of me that's very upset with that you know, that taste is going to be in my mouth all season long. Pause. But also, the good thing, the kind of the blessing with it could be is that it's also going to stick with these players, and I think this will humble the players in the sense of knowing that, because these players know better than we do who's good in the league and who's not. They know that kind of stuff, so they're going to look at this road to the playoffs and they're going to remember, hey, the last time we played a for real team, we got punched in the mouth and we got knocked down and we did not bite any kneecaps on the way back up. That was a bad performance. Like that's the one blessing in all of this, is that they are going to have that taste in their mouth for the rest of this year. Just like how that Carolina loss last year was a string of events, and it led to a good streak of Lions football. I think this is kind of in the same vein. Now, are they still pretenders in my eyes? Yes, because they are still one step away talent-wise. Like Spencer said, you don't lose that game that bad, but at the end of the day, you do have that going for it, that you have all the fuel you need, and I think this is the right locker room, the right coaching staff to channel that.
The thing too is, like, as much as I hate to admit it, and I guess you look at like some of the guys that were healthy in those situations too, but the Chiefs, we won by 1 point. Obviously, Kelsey gone, Chris Jones gone, lots of drops, kind of a weird game, but no asterisk for me. It's a dub. But we're talking about contenders, pretenders. All right, there's some context there. And then the next good team you face was the Seattle Seahawks, and that game you lost to. Like, after that, dominant wins over the Falcons. Okay, who are the Falcons? Dominant win over the Packers. Who are the Packers?
Trash.
Dominant win over the team that may end up with the number 1 overall pick that's going to go to our division rival, the Bears, the Panthers, and then Baker Mayfield, who, by the way, lost the Falcons yesterday too. The teams in this resume, that was what, like, the arguments we were making, or I saw some Lions fans making heading into this Ravens game, is like, who the Ravens played. I even think I commented underneath Jeremy Reisman's post too, is like, because he did that, you know, Ravens DVOA rankings opponents, and I was like, what are the Lions? Because we've played some pretty bad teams too, and I think it's quite clear there is a discrepancy when it comes to that next level of team for this Detroit Lions.
And let me tell you about the Woodward post-game show. Directly after all Lions games, Maz and Stick will be breaking down the Lions game. It is the Woodward post-game show. Make sure you tune into it. Like I said, directly after every single Lions game here on the Woodward Sports Network.
Damn. I'm Mr. Defend the Glenn. I don't know if any of those ever got posted and I got tagged, but the one where I'm going at Glenn, I got posted and tagged. One time.
Rip.
Yeah. It's whatever. It's whatever. We were there. Actually, I'm gonna make the comment in the poll too. I mean, you weren't there for BDE. But I'm curious what the audience thinks because obviously you guys have usually like the slappy takes. You guys still think the Lions are contenders? Do you want to open up the phone lines? I mean, do people still think that the Detroit Lions are contending?
Yeah, we can do that. Lewis says, "Why are you guys going into panic mode?" Nobody's going into panic mode.
No, it's not panic mode.
I didn't think they could win the Super Bowl anyways. But
my comment was that they won't go past a wild card weekend, which means they're
still going to win the division. They'll still win a playoff game, but they're not the team that we had hoped they were.
Yes.
After this loss, it's like it opened our eyes to everything that can go wrong, and that's why they definitely need to make a move at this deadline. It increases the sense of urgency for Brad Holmes and this Lions team. And if I see Goff have another stinker like that this whole year, I just can't do it anymore. That was just so ugly to watch. But back to you, boys.
Yeah, I guess I have another question too for all you guys. Is like, David Montgomery wasn't there for this one.
Mm-hmm.
How much of a factor do you think he plays? If we have a healthy David Montgomery in that game, do you think things are a little bit different? You think it's still a loss, but not as bad? I mean, what do you think, Smitty?
What? Sorry.
If David Montgomery is healthy in that game,
that doesn't change anything.
They're still getting their asses.
They're still getting their asses whooped.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ himself could have been running the ball for them, and they wouldn't.
Well, they had Jesus Christ at quarterback.
Yeah, that's
JG
true.
16. Nick, does Dave Montgomery make a difference for the Detroit Lions in that game?
I don't think he makes a very big difference. That was just complete domination by the Ravens. I don't think one player makes a difference in that one.
By the way, too, I do kind of open the phone lines because we are at 56% contenders. You guys are the Detroit Lions still contending for an NFC title. And we will do so after 6:10 because I do not have my headphones anymore. I have to go grab those to actually hear you guys. But we'll go ahead and read a couple comments, I guess, before then. Easy. It's from Terrell FL. I think we have a jersey bet going on a Jared Goff MVP race. I'm pretty sure that was a bet. Or Super Bowl, I think he said. I got too many of them out there.
Yeah.
I know Detroit supremacy.
$5 handshake
crazy.
bets.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen Detroit supremacy.
Oh,
in the
you
chat.
know he wasn't showing up for today.
Haven't seen him in the chat.
You know he wasn't showing up for today. He says, easy. I'm just here to say that Jared looked like shit yesterday. Don't know why his throws look so bad. I don't want to be that guy that only comes through when he's playing good.
I forget who we were talking. I was talking to somebody on the street. I think it was Booner.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the wind, and we were talking about some of the wobbly throws. And I was like, yeah, you know, the wind is factoring into why these throws look so bad. And he was like, so why is Lamar Jackson's throws looking so on point? And Chris was like, he's got a stronger arm. Like he's putting some zip on him. He's putting him in there. So
exactly. I mean, I got to be honest with you guys. I don't understand why people turn a blind eye to it. I know I've caught Stick making a face, and we smiled at each other, like laughed afterward. But he throws them wobbly at home too. They hit the mark. They're not up against the wind. When you throw a wobbler in the wind, that bitch is hitting the ground. I mean, you saw what happens yesterday, Chris.
But one thing I do want to say, and I said this during commercial break, like I want to clarify. Like to me, I put a lot, not all of it, obviously, but I put a lot of this game on the offensive line, not the majority, but a lot of it, because this is a team where you know Jared Goff. We know his limitations as quarterbacks. We've said this on the show, his limitations at quarterback, and Goff was making bad throws. He was, you know, running out of pocket when he even shouldn't have. But when he had that much constant pressure that whole game, like I understood why he was making the bad decisions he was making. Not excusing him of those moments, but adding context to it. Like I do think the offensive line played a big part in Goff having his bad game, which does go back to your point of Goff needing everything around him to be perfect. But I just feel like while we're talking, we've said that the defense deserves the most blame. We all agree. We've put the blame on Goff, but we also got to put some accountability on the offensive line. Like Penei Sewell was not Penei Sewell this week. Like it's just there was differences all across the board, and that's one of them that I feel like needed to be brought up.
It's a team loss, but I'm really not even going at the offensive line. Like again, when teams like down in that situation, the defense is able to pin their ears back and just go at the quarterback because they know you're passing. And then you go bring in the factor of like Goff's mobility. I think someone else commented that. I said in the chat, and I hate for it to come off this way, but it's you see him fumbling in those situations often because there is the hand size thing. But I mean, he has his faults. He's not good at those things, and that's what I'm saying. That's the difference between I mean, you saw on the field. The difference between Lamar Jackson and Jared Goff. Aiden Hutchinson had Lamar dead to rights yesterday. Lamar scooted past it, went to the side, and threw a freaking touchdown, dude. But let's go to break. We got a couple callers. I finally got the headphones working. Sweeney, tell us about Planet Fitness.
Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable in their workout on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all this for just $10 a month. No commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by, and there's more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
When it comes to your pet, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations. Over 60 brands of food. Lowest prices and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. www.premierpetsupply.com.
What up, though? Welcome back to Whatever It's live on WoodsportsCom. I'm Easy, joined by guys Spinmo Rex,
what up,
Young
though?
Chris, Nicholas Koloff from the ones and twos. We told you guys you up the phone lines, which I'm quite honestly kind of curious to hear some of you guys because 67% you guys still have Detroit Lions contenders. Let's talk about it. We got Terrell from FL. Nick?
Yes, sir. Terrell from Florida. You are live on air.
What up, man?
Come on, Terrell.
We got him. Oh, I can hear him echoing in yours, but I can't hear him on ours.
Yeah, I can't hear him.
I hear him saying F and shit, though. He's fired up.
You guys can't hear him?
No, we can't.
Can you hear him? All right. Hey, Terrell, just wait on hold for a sec. We're going to try to get this figured out.
We'll keep it going. I got a question for you, though, because there was one play I must have missed at some point in the fourth quarter. Obviously, I tuned in a little bit of red zone at that point. I'm overseeing I rewatched the first half today, and I take everything I saw in the second half with a grain of salt because of what the game was. In fact, the Ravens came out and scored again and once they got the ball. But what do you think of J-Mo? And I get, 6 targets, 0 catches?
Yeah, it was tough. Obviously, the one he dropped in the end zone, he should have caught. He definitely should have caught. He was sliding to the ground to try to catch it.
That was a tough catch.
But it hit him in the hands. You should catch it. The one down the sideline, that was pass interference, like blatant pass interference, and it wasn't called. The dude literally slapped his arm down so the ball hit him in the face because he didn't have a chance to put his hands up to catch it. I don't know. It was not a good game for Jameson Williams at all, obviously, but I think they need to use him in more intermediate passes. Like, why can't he get in more?
That was wild.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
What the
fuck? He was just walking like. He kept moving, but his head just kept straight.
And he went
to the side.
To us?
To me. I was looking right at him. Fucking, I don't know. I don't know. Some fuck.
Or maybe it was Easy's head he was looking at.
That was weird. But yeah, it's you gotta have better performance. You gotta go out there and, like I said, that one in the end zone, I think he should have caught that, even though it would have been a tough catch. But
a really tough catch.
It hit him in the hands.
I can't.
It hit him if it hits you in the hands, I think you should catch it.
I guess. I mean, I'm not too fond of that rule or saying, but it was a tough catch. He was wide open. I was kind of talking to Lucas even before the play came up, or he's seen it because Lucas, obviously former wide receiver, And Braylon, I'm gonna have the conversation with too. I mean, Braylon, I already know how he feels about the matter, but like in that situation, because it happened again with DJ Chark last year, and in the Bills game, where people are like, "Oh, you ran the wrong route."
Yeah.
It's something that's tailing off on those balls.
Oh,
man.
the interception or.
Oh, I'm talking about the DJ Chark last year in the Thanksgiving game, how the ball was like.
Yeah, but with J-Mo. Which one were you talking about with J-Mo?
With J-Mo, just on that catch where it hit him in the hand, it did kind of like sail left, and he had to like. It was.
Slide.
I sent you a screenshot of it, Chris. I was talking about it on Twitter. It was like a good ball, but it's like, come on.
Yeah, put it out there.
Yeah, put it in the fucking breadbasket. But
and the interception one, I don't know what was going on there.
Yeah,
he was wide open, like about to walk into the end zone, and Goff threw it to the right where there was two.
Terrell, can you hear me?
Defenders.
You know what made me feel type of way too is like if you watch back the game,
Terrell, can you hear me?
The Ravens were running like little Detroit Lion motions and going out there in 12 personnel, then breaking off to the 11 personnel, having Mark Andrews hop over to the slot, and then Keon. It was. I'll bring up two things, and just like brief things, and we'll like move on from them. But like, maybe think about the days where Lamar was rumored to come here. I was like, damn, it would have been nasty.
Could this have been a J-Mo sabotage game?
Yeah.
Could this have been?
I'm not beating up J-Mo for that one. Again, the entire team was just dog shit at a certain point.
But at what point when
like
it comes
dominoes
to him, because he has had drops in games, and I'm of the camp that this guy is just working into like his NFL career. I think his NFL career is a lot younger than people think.
Oh yeah.
You just look at the games and reps played. But at what point do you start to kind of get concerned that you might be a talented receiver that might have the drops? I mean, Dan Campbell's even said it himself in conferences at practice and everything of, this guy doesn't have the greatest hands.
Yes,
blah, blah.
that's what I was going to say.
I mean, at what point do you kind of start to think, okay, if he gets 6 targets, he's gonna drop one. He's gonna drop one a game, or like, what point do you kind of start to expect those?
The thing is, like for yesterday, for me, and I see the screenshot if you want to put up at some point, but like that is a tough catch. I get the rule is like if it hits your hands and you're gonna catch it, but like that is the AJ Browns of the world. That is like the elites of the elites that you could have those rules with. When it comes to like what J-Mo is, and Dan Campbell forewarned us, is like he's never gonna have those elite hands, those great hands. So as the quarterback, you probably want to put it in a spot where he can get it, where he doesn't have to turn around to go grab it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not that worried about him. We do see him in like the.
It's a little dark.
Yeah, it's a little dark.
Yeah, don't play that.
No, it's not video. Yeah, it's a screenshot.
Yeah, you can take that down.
Yeah. But I mean, that's a tough catch on the run. I have to like lean all the way back. You try him again in a minute if you want, Nick. But again, it was like dominoes.
Yeah.
It all just kind of.
Yeah, like nobody said the whole team
together.
was dog shit, and it's right. No one person you could put it on. The entire team played terrible.
Everybody said it too.
Steve O'Baby, there will be Red Wings talk because the boys are buzzing.
Yes, they are.
The boys are buzzing.
Bedard is the man, or not Bedard.
Jameer. Yeah, what the whose team are you on, bud?
I'm learning the hockey, all right? I'm learning the hockey. DeBrinket's the man.
Do you want to try once more, Nick?
Yeah, we could try caller Nick.
Yes, sir. We're going to go to Terrell in Florida. Terrell, you are live on air.
What up, Terrell?
Jesus. Terrell, you're live.
It's good. He probably gave up. He sounded pretty heated.
Can't hear him.
No, I can't hear him. It's all right.
Sorry about that.
All right. We'll do that later on in the week.
Technical difficulties on the phone line. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I apologize, guys. The Woodward Sports Chat is open, though. And Terrell, I'll make sure I read your comment because I know you sound pretty heated. I don't even know what the hell is going on. Oh, Jahmyr Gibbs.
He had a great game.
Yeah.
He had a great game. He looked good running the ball. Yeah. That wasn't a great game. 9 catches, over 100 all-purpose yards. That's not a great game for him.
I think he had a great second half.
You're just hating to hate. Like, you weren't impressed with what he did?
First half. What did he do, Spinny?
I don't know. What were his stats in the first half? Do you have them?
Yeah, like freaking 3 yards or not even.
Their whole team was trash. They had 4 3-and-outs to start the game.
So I can't say he had a great game. It's not a great game. He had a great second half. When the game's kind of already over. That's my perspective. Don't get me wrong. I'm not telling you he's shitty. I'm not hating on him. I just can't. When you said great game, I'm like, well, I don't know about a great game.
I mean, the entire offense was dog shit in the first half. They got shut out.
Mm-hmm.
And so they went in there and they made some adjustments, and he looked great.
Yeah. This Ravens team wasn't letting off the gas for a while until damn near like the mid third quarter. So this was to me impressive because when everything was going wrong, that was the damn near only thing going right on offense. So I think it is impressive. I get what you're saying. It can look like it was, in some sense like stat padding because the game was a blowout, but in reality,
how can it be stat padding? They're running plays. What are you just gonna lay down because it was 28-0? Just gonna knee out the rest of the game? You're still gonna run plays. He went out there and he made plays when they were offered to him.
I mean, he used it for lack of better words, but I mean, I can't come away a great game. It's when the game's kind of like bull wrapped. That's when Lions started moving the ball. Had the only touchdown of the day, and this is from a conversation that Braylon and I had because it goes back to 2021 when we had that comeback, the fallacy comeback against the San Francisco 49ers in Week 1, and I was like, the Lions showed fight. They came back, right? And Braylon was like, in games like that, man, where it's kind of already done, it's like guys are easing off the gas pedals a little bit. Ravens obviously started playing like their second string guys. Obviously, there's still something there for Jameer. I don't know. I wasn't going to use the word.
I don't know. I think there's value in when everything is going wrong, one thing is going right. I think that there is real value in that. I'm not saying that it was the greatest game ever, easy, but it's encouraging. Did you want him to have 10 yards like some of these other people? Did you want him to struggle? Or
no, it's definitely encouraging. I'm just not using.
Exactly.
I'm just not saying impressive or great. I'm not using those words in a 35-6 or 38-6 blowout. And when the stats came, we're in the back half of it all. Second string guys are literally in the game. And then this is a team that's going to keep fighting, for sure. I'm damn sure glad, it's freaking 38-6 rather than 38-0. Not much of a difference though, but he showed you something there, and I don't know. I think with him, where I'm with it is I like the confidence that comes along with that. You know what I'm saying? Like the maybe he gets more of a little bit of a rhythm. Just the experience of even just going through and having that big run he had with the touchdown. It's okay, maybe next time he's in that same. He saw something already. He saw what it took to get there. I guess in that game, I just wasn't going to attach great or impressive to it. But I think Jameer's going to be a little bit of a flow. I don't think we'll be down as bad without, especially these next coming games.
Yeah.
I mean, Raiders getting smacked, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even Jimmy G, no Jimmy G. They're getting smacked. I don't give a shit. Especially with this Dan Campbell team after them getting smacked.
Yeah.
It could be 10 times worse for those guys.
Monday night at home? Come on, man.
You want to speak on Jameer Gibbs, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, Jibbs and Gamo are... and J-Mo.
Young Jibbs
and Gamo.
Oh, my God.
Hey, I want that as a real...
it's kind of hard to roast them after that. I'm done with excuses for J-Mo. There's no more excuses for J-Mo. Not at all. He's got to catch the ball. You're an NFL wide receiver. You are a top 12 pick. Catch the damn ball. You are brought here to be an absolute weapon. We are not using him to that. He drops balls every single game. When are we going to stop making excuses for this guy? He's the number 12 overall pick of last year. You traded up to get him. You knew he was going to come back late from the injury. His job is to catch the ball and be an absolute weapon, and he is not doing his job. That's just flat out plain and simple. I love what I saw from Gibbs yesterday, though. He showed really some really good promise.
Jibbs and Gamo.
Thank you, Skip Gayless.
Yeah, Gamo line was wild, bro.
Let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and no Guardian Alarm team member will still be on the phone as long as needed. And of course, you have technology backed by people. Your safety and security is deserves. Technology has been proven to work, and people who have been proven to care. So call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel. How would you like to win not one, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
You guys feeling down and out? Want something to cheer yourselves up?
No.
How about a great deal from Dispo Dispensary? Make sure you check them out. They're a local cannabis plug because there's 12 locations across the great state of Michigan. And if you can't make it there, they deliver to you themselves. Might be JB out there dropping you off your bag. Make sure you guys visit them at disposhops.com if you want it delivered to you. Or just visit them, my favorite location, one in Romeo. Open till midnight, Monday through Saturday. And it's the first cannabis mall in Michigan. The place is electric. But Dispo, your local cannabis plug. There was a great comment in the Woodward Sports chat. By the way, welcome back. 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Smash the like button. Are we only at 58 likes for real? Am I looking at that correctly?
Yep.
My lord. 58 likes, boys? Come on. Let's get that up. But somebody asked, I think it's Elway, are the Detroit Lions still a top 10 defense? Spinmo?
Yeah, I think so. Not top 5. Not top 5, but I think they're still top 10 as of right now. I mean, that was a shitter. You went out there and got blasted. I think the Ravens have the number 1 defense in the NFL now. Like, that was extremely impressive what they did. And yeah, it was terrible, man. It was terrible to watch.
Yeah, I think I still think they're a top 10 defense. I definitely would escort them out of the conversation, a top 5 defense. I know the Ravens ultimately got the ball running. I think when Lamar breaks the game like that, I mean, that's truly what he's doing. He's complete. You're so, I mean, Dan Campbell, I think, spoke to him in post-game too. You're just so, like, flustered and worried about what Lamar is going to do, how you can contain him, that, like, your true assignments, you're breaking off from. And you're not able to, like, defend the run like you normally do. You're not able to defend the pass like you normally do, because you're worried about Lamar Jackson and all the things that he can do. That's what I took a lot of that for, on top of obviously missing Jerry Jacobs. You can say what you want about Jerry Jacobs in the Seattle game. That did take place, but he's been phenomenal ever since. Granted, probably against lesser competition, but he's damn sure an upgrade over Will Harris. I think that changes things for you. I think some things, too, much like last year when you guys were on AG's ass and this defense's ass, give some of these young guys a little bit more seasoning. I think Brian Branch has looked great in moments. Still a rookie. I think Jack Campbell has looked pretty good in moments. Still a rookie. Just some of those pieces a little bit more seasoned, but I still think they're top 10.
Actually, I recant my statement.
They're not top 10?
They're not top 10.
Ooh.
They're not a top 10 defense. You look at the two times they played good teams. Obviously, they went out, you go out in Kansas City, without their offensive coordinator from last year, without their biggest weapon in Travis Kelce, and you hold them to, 20? So that was good.
Yeah.
What happened when they played Seattle? Seattle put up a 30-burger, 30-plus.
Yeah.
What happened when you played the Ravens? The Ravens put up 30-plus. Playing good offenses, no. Yeah, you can feast against bums, and that's awesome. But a top 10 defense does not have Will Harris starting on the outside. A top 10 defense plays good against top 10 teams. And that's what I need to see.
Yeah.
So statistically, they might be. But the eyeball test, no.
Yeah, for me, it's like I mean, you have a great point with the Seattle game. And I know up until that point, I think going into halftime of that one, AG had held the Seahawks like 7 points, and the game kind of just had broken from there. And I think we know like the turnover situation in that game too, the fumble by Montgomery, the pick 6 by Goff, makes all those things look a little bit more uglier. The turnover on downs as well. With this one, I still feel comfortable saying they're top 10 because everything I said previously about Lamar Jackson and Will Harris being out there too. I mean, I hope that Will Harris. I know that Jerry's probably gonna be back by Monday. Have a little insider trading on that one, but Will Harris, if he's out there, no, you're not a top 10 defense. And Lamar Jackson he's gonna do those things, man. Like, he's cold. But I think
but is Gus Edwards gonna do those things to you? Is Justice Hill gonna do those things to you?
But they didn't really
is
do much.
Picard or whatever, fucking the Star Trek guy, Richard, whoever the fucking fullback is, getting wide open, running down the sideline.
Well, my thing is though, like with that, again, it's gonna happen every once in a while. Like a perfect example, and maybe you don't think they're a top 10 defense either, but the Browns. Do you think the Browns are a top 10 defense?
Yes.
All right. Well, Gardner Minshew as a backup quarterback just put up 37 or 38 on them yesterday.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes shit just happens, and like it's a 17-game season, and this is like the NFL. You're not going to be able to like
avoid getting your ass whooped.
This isn't
Yeah.
Michigan playing fucking Oakland University type shit.
Yeah.
So these are other NFL teams. As Neil likes to say, the other guys drive Mercedes too, or whatever the hell it is. Like things are going to happen. I still think it's going to be a respectable defense. It's just like when it comes to guys that can break the game like that, or just contending, entering the actual conversation of contending for a title, you're going to need another piece. You're going to need someone to help Aiden break the game. Like you need to equalize that out. For every Lamar you face, you got to give Aiden something to work with so he could be a game breaker on our side.
Yeah.
You know, or Patrick Surtain. I don't think that's happening.
For sure. You have to beef it up a little bit. You have to bring in better players. You have to bring in better quality starters. And like I said, if you're starting Will Harris, you're not a top 10 defense.
AG sucks. I will never trust his defense while he is running it, says Dr. Clapping Cheeks. I think you guys, again, going off the deep end with that one. It was a bad game, man.
I'm not saying they're a trash defense or anything like that,
Yeah.
but I think they're outside of the top 10 as of now until they get more help.
Again, I want at least elite edge rusher, I should say. But I think, and then again, they're probably the back half of that top 10.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. Got to ask you, obviously, the contenders and stuff like that. How you think we're straight with Jameer, right?
Yes.
Like that going without Montgomery?
Yeah.
Especially the way the schedule's looking.
Yeah, they only got one. I feel like Montgomery will be back after the bye, so I'm not worried about it.
I ain't tripping over that either. Actually, Nick, are they top 10 defense to you? Did we ask you?
I think it's the back end of top 10. You know, maybe 9 or 10 there. But, I mean, you guys just hit on it. We need another end and we need another corner desperately. You can tell Hutch is just exhausted out there doing everything himself.
Yes.
And he just needs a guy opposite side of him, and I think everything will fall into place for this defense.
Yeah, I'm not with the. I mean, again, I don't even like read the comments as like anything anymore because I just expect them now. The AG's got to go. AG's trash. AG fire. Like it's you guys. I don't know. I don't want to be flip flop on it. You know, just rather than like again giving context and look what shit is. And in the context of this one, Lions got their ass whooped. There's no way around it.
Outplayed.
Yeah. But the context of like reality is, and I think Neil brought up on his show today. Ryan brought up a couple of blowouts too from like Tom Brady's. Like, by the way, Bill Belichick's defensive coach. A couple of blowouts on Tom Brady on Super Bowl runs. Actually, Super Bowl run with Tampa Bay, it was like 38-3 against the Saints, and that defense was stacked. The Dominican Sue,
Yeah, that's
Vita
what.
Vea.
See, like stuff like that. Like those are more talented teams, I would say.
Yeah, but even them though, you've seen that defense. I mean, the Browns are a perfect example yesterday too against a backup quarterback in Gardner Minshew. It's gonna happen, especially. I'm more grateful that when it happened to us, it was against a Lamar Jackson or a playoff team like the Seattle Seahawks versus fucking Gardner Minshew.
The 38,
the team that just had the third overall pick.
The 38 against the Ravens is not something that I'm freaking out about. But the 28 unanswered, the 4 3-and-outs in a row, the way the offense played and performed, that's something I'm more concerned about.
Yeah, that's I mean, and for me too, it's just what I'm concerned about. I'm more like looking at the road situations, cold situations, stuff like that. Again, if I had to cash in yesterday's loss, actually no, I probably still would have the close loss, and the Browns actually ended up winning that game because their offense actually produced. But I'd rather have that happen against Lamar Jackson than Gardner Minshew. If Gardner Minshew's doing that, then I'm all in. We want to trash AG, because then you're looking at true SOL situations where Matt Flynn's coming in back half of the fucking season for the fuck of it, and he's torching you for 400 yards like that. That's when I'm like, yeah, what's going on here? I'm all in at that point when it's a Gardner Minshew doing it. But Seahawks are obviously a good team, playoff team. Lamar Jackson, former MVP, and my honest opinion, probably going to win MVP this season if Todd Monken's running the offense like that.
If he continues to play this way, he definitely will. Let me tell you guys about Woodward and Main Street. It is the Lions Insider Show here on the Woodward Sports Network, hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster. Make sure you guys check it out. Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. It is Woodward and Main.
Couple comments on Woodward Sports Chat. Danny G says, our defense was playing like they used to, not the plan and trying to be heroes. Exactly. And that's what I told you too. When Lamar's out there and he's doing what he did,
everybody has to do their jobs or he's going to take advantage of the weak league.
And everyone's trying to play hero ball at that point too. Like, oh fuck, I can't let them do this again. I got to stop that. It's what happens. And, I mean, they'll fix it. But, unfortunately, we won't have the battle test against another Lamar. There's not another Lamar on our schedule.
Justin Herbert,
yeah. You know what? That'd be the next big test.
Yeah.
Obviously, is the next big test. And I know they're not the greatest team, but that makes it even bigger test. If I'll make this bet with you guys trying to trash AG or fire AG. If the Lions go out there and they get roasted by Justin Herbert the way they did Lamar, then we can start having a conversation about, is AG the guy? I'll entertain it then. Because that's a guy where I think obviously still dynamic and do amazing things, but quite clearly beatable if you scheme against him right. With Lamar, I think is a little bit more of an athlete. I mean, bro, the first RPO they did, where they faked the handoff, Lamar pretended like he was going to run and then just threw the ball. I think it was Odell. Disgusting. That was filthy. Tracy had an excellent third down stop, but they had so much momentum that they went for it on fourth down. Lamar ran it in like Lamar would do. You know what I'm saying? It's just he's a game-breaking guy.
Ends were biting on that RPO hard all game.
Yeah. Dude, he again, the word I use, game breaker. It's truly what he does.
Combo breaker.
We just have to find a way to equalize it.
Yeah. Chris, you had something to say?
I just, again, I want to reemphasize this loss. It was kind of on Easier's earlier point about cashing in this win and maybe trading it for another win. Again, I am glad that this is the one loss that happened, because you can now look at Seattle and this one back to back and look like those are the two toughest teams, Kansas City notwithstanding because of the context of theirs, but that's still obviously a very tough game. So these tough games, you have come up 1-2 in these three tough games, and I think that will be something that the Lions and this whole entire locker room and this whole entire coaching staff will be smart enough to know that coming into the playoffs or these big games that the Lions are now going to enter, that hey, we cannot come out flat. We cannot rest on our laurels, no matter if we finish this season with 12 or 13 wins or 14 wins, whatever. You can't look at this team and be totally confident when you know that you are 1-2 against your three hardest games on the schedule currently. So I think it's a good thing that this was the loss that happened. And you never want to see these losses, but this is one that's, again, going to stick with these players. I believe this is going to be this year's, I don't want to say this year's Carolina because it's obviously different levels of team, but it's going to be that in terms of the fuel, the motivation, and the way it's going to resonate with this team for an extended period of time. They are not just going to go smash the Raiders on Monday Night Football and then forget all about this Ravens game. This Ravens game is going to sit with them for this entire season.
Yeah, I think it's another situation where you look into the next test, and I think they'll feel that way against the Chargers. Okay, last time against the last test, we failed miserably. We gotta show out for this one.
Tell us about Mark White.
I'll tell you about Mark White, because if you're doing your life right, that's where you're buying your real estate from. I'm just saying. He's got the minute-by-minute listing agreement. You cancel your listing agreement for any reason with no penalty whatsoever. It's flexibility. It's the key to success. Give my guy Mark White a call at 248-290-8242 or visit markwhitesales.com.
What happens when you run a great business for over 50
What
years?
happened?
You expand and offer more products to more people. That is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today and find the brand you want at lesstanford.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
And at the Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art Sports Zone field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football with grades K through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, a futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. They are now accepting new enrollment. Go to theacademyofwarren.net.
A on the brain.
What'd you say?
He just got gay on the brain.
Okay.
He said gays grade through 8.
I thought he was killing it, but I 100%ed that at some point. Booner will be joining the back half of the show for a little bit of crosstalk before the Booner and Broder show. Yeah, you're abusive.
I love Booner.
You should. He's still your friend after Saturday. You're being really mean.
Me?
Yeah.
Nah, I wasn't being
Were you
mad.
drinking? Did you drink before?
A little bit.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
Angry drunk? Because you knew it was coming?
No.
Was it miserable?
It was fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Imagine reliving Sunday 2 days in a row.
Yeah, you're right.
At least I expected the Michigan State one. That's what I'm saying. That one kind of eased through it because I knew it was going to happen. The Lions one I did not see coming. But also what I did not see coming was this start from the Detroit fucking Red Wings.
Let's go.
They have the 2 highest point scorers in the NHL in Dylan Larkin and Alex DeBrincat. They got the best line so far in the NHL in the Larkin, DeBrincat, Raymond line. It's extremely impressive to see what they're doing. Obviously, DeBrincat had that hat trick, but the one thing that has impressed me the most is how they get into the offensive zone. So far this year, they've been getting into the offensive zone at will whenever they want, so effortlessly. That is impressive. They haven't been able to do that in the past couple of years, and that's what happens when you add a superstar. When you add a superstar to a lineup, it frees everybody else up. It opens the ice up more because they can't help off of other people. They can't forget about other people. You got to know where they are on the ice at all times. And these Red Wings have been playing lights the fuck out, man. It is awesome to watch. They've already scored 6 or more goals in 3 games this season. They scored 6 or more goals 6 times all of last year. This Red Wings team is a powerhouse. I know everybody was saying, in NHL Twitter, oh, they're just power play merchants. Oh, they can only score on the power play. They were 0 for 5 on the power play last night and still scored 6 goals. So, where you at, huh? Where you at now? This Red Wings team is legit, man. It's a lot of fun. DeBrincat is playing his ass off. I just love to see it.
DeBrincat's balling.
Yeah.
Same way you saw
pucking.
Same way you saw pucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. DeBrincat's pucking.
Instead of fucking, he's pucking.
The cat trick.
Yeah.
But the same way you see like DeAndre Swift coming to for his hometown team for the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like DeBrincat obviously can score beforehand, but he's fucking balling right now. Pucking, as Spinney said. It's very, very impressive. And by the way, for the power play merchant comments, I'm sorry, last time I checked, power plays are part of the game. So excuse me if my team is capitalizing on the power play quite often more than your team. You want us to be apologetic for that?
Yeah, I don't get
that. Fam, I'm sorry. Especially last year's power play versus this year's power play is night and fucking day. What's the defense looking like, though? I guess, or Chris, do either of you guys?
Defense is looking better. I mean, like I said, everybody's freaking out over the Tampa game, but that is Tampa Bay. They still have one of the nastiest 5 in the league when you put those 5 on the ice at the same time with Point, Kucherov, and Stamkos. It's scary. It's scary. Sergachev and Hedman in the back end. You got those 5 on the ice. It's literally scary. But the defenses look better. Gostisbehere has looked fantastic in what he can do both in the offensive and defensive zone. Mo Seider's picking it up. Wallman got a goal last night. You love to see that. So I'm excited for this team for sure.
Sherratt had a nice clapper too.
Sherratt had a nice
great
goal.
To see. Yeah, I was actually down there at LCA, and it was electric down there. The city's already behind the Wings. I mean, they already have a massive fan base, but everybody's out in full force. DeBrincat 8 goals, 6 games. I actually gave it out on stream. It was a DeBrincat goal, 3 shots on goal, and Wings money line. I do not know why they were underdogs in that game. That surprised me. But this Red Wings team is so much fun to watch, and it's came at a perfect time after that disappointing Lions just debacle. So everybody in Detroit really needed that Wings win last night.
Chris?
I mean, I love it, and I don't want to jump the gun, but this is a conversation I had with some of my hockey friends today, because I'm just getting all into this Red Wings team here, and I'm just at this point I'm asking myself, what is the move that you make, because this team is good, and while they might be playing at a level that's higher than expected, are we ready to push the chips in? Like that's where I'm at, because I'm told that playoff hockey has such a variance, and easy. What happened? What happened?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. I thought I missed something, but that's where I'm at, Spencer. And I know it's a week and a half into the season. Let's not talk about going for the all-in move and getting the Patrick Kane, or like signing a veteran or making a trade. But like that's where I'm at, man. I'm so excited about this Red Wings team. So Spencer, I guess the question I would ask you then is who's the player you're watching over the next, or a couple players you're watching over the next like week or two to kind of see like this team going to the next level, or just maintaining this level? Like, who are you looking at that either needs to step up or maintain the level that they're at?
I think they all need to maintain the level that they're at. Obviously, that first line, it's extremely important for them to stay there. But guys like Sprong and different players in the back half of the forward rotation need to stay doing what they're doing. They need to continue to have success. Joe Veleno has 3 goals in 2 games. That's been fun to watch. He's been playing well. So throughout the entire roster, throughout the entire team, these guys need to keep going and keep trucking. It's impressive. But when your first line is carrying you the way they are, that's obviously going to stay. They're the best line in hockey so far this year. I know it's only 6 games, but they've been extremely fun to watch.
You came. I want to say for the last time, we got in the building right now. Shout out to Booner from the Booner and Broder Show here on weeknights on Woodward Sports. Make sure you guys tap in, lock in. How you feeling, bud?
Great today.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was a tough weekend. I'm not going to lie. It was like half was good, half was bad.
What are you guys talking about on your show tonight? Because I want to ask you something that you got to talk about on your show.
We're doing a lot of Lions. We are going to do a segment on Red Wings tonight, actually.
Okay.
We're going to touch on the Red Wings. They've been killing it, so they deserve some love a little bit here. So we're going to talk some Red Wings, but mostly this Lions loss.
Is there a contenders or pretenders topic in your prep sheet?
No, there's not, but there's an overreactions one.
Okay.
I think that's where we're probably going to talk, if that's what you're going towards.
So can I ask you?
Yeah.
Are the Detroit Lions contenders or pretenders after yesterday's game?
I'm gonna stick with contenders, to be honest. I don't know. Pretenders is. I'm trying to think of an example of a pretending team. I'm trying to think of one here. I don't know, like the Seattle Seahawks. I still think the Lions are a better football team. I know they lost to them, but I don't even want to answer this question until next Tuesday, to be honest, because I want to see what Brad Holmes does in the trade deadline. That's where I'm at.
What if he doesn't do anything?
If he doesn't do anything, then I'm going to be a little bit worried.
Pretenders.
Yeah. But I do believe Brad Holmes does come out and make a move or two and does kind of show up and say, hey, we need to address something. I know you keep bringing up the Will Harris thing. Like you have to go out and get someone to address these injuries. That is something we're going to talk about on Woodward Nights, is like this injury is like you need to address this situation within the next 7 days before the trade deadline hits. Because if you don't, there's going to be these games. Now, this is where I am with the contenders pretenders, though. I still think the Detroit Lions can go beat a team like Dallas in the playoffs. I think they can beat Seattle. I think if they get an Eagles matchup at home somehow, some way, because I still think they can win 13, 14 games, I still think they could compete and beat a Philly team at home. Or, but this whole these one-off games, that's where a contender, you get in the playoffs, you can't afford a one-off game like this. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't afford to go out there and do what you just did yesterday. That is a contender. That can't happen. Now, you could be a contender and that happens and, you just lose in the second round or you end up going on a run and winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But I still think they're on that point to where they're good enough to go on a run, but they're not where I'm like, hey, I can lock that. Like last week, I felt like after Tampa, if they go into Baltimore and do what we think they can do, I could lock them in as a Super Bowl contender. Right now, it's, hey, they're still contenders, but they have to go on a run. They can't have a dud game like they did yesterday. Because it's the NFL, you have to win 4 games to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If you have a dud, you're done for the year.
Yeah, I think the contender piece is really dependent on, one, I'll start with the trade deadline. Obviously, want something to be done about that. And then 2, I go on to, do we get that home field advantage? Because if Goff's on the road, playoff time in Philly, I'm sorry, guys. That's not a W.
It's tough.
And you're definitely up against San Francisco already. At home, I agree with you. You might feel a little bit better. But then you get Lamar. Jalen Hurts offers some of those same. Obviously, I think Lamar could be a little bit more dynamic than Jalen Hurts, but Jalen Hurts can offer you the same like mismatches on top of. They have a great defense too, but I think they can run the ball down
and a better offensive line.
Yeah.
The one thing
I think have a slugfest with San Fran
with the game yesterday is we do have to take a step back a little bit and like let's look at what the Detroit Lions have done already. Like they did go on the road and play even though they didn't have Chris Jones or Travis Kelce, they went into Arrowhead and won a tough game. Like they did do that. Like there's positives right now out of this season. It's not like you can't go still win a Super Bowl, but there are things that like Dan Campbell said in his press conference today. Like I can't let this as the head coach can't let this happen again, and we're gonna find ways to do it. And I think whether you have to go get guys, you have to address some things. There's it's not like yesterday isn't the end of the year. There's still a Super Bowl chance. There's still an NFC Championship chance. You're still gonna get to the playoffs and win the NFC North.
Chris, tell us about Glorious.
Glorious Cannabis, just in time for football. Glorious Cannabis is back with a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary, and you can even get them 25% off using the code Woodward online at glorious.com.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports Crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness. Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Your childhood may be over, but Playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for outdoor power equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, Ellis Tractor, Steel, and more, servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
Still funny. Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights, live on WoodwardSports.com. Chris, Nicholas Koloff, Booner in for Crosstalk. Make sure you guys tune into the Booner and Broder Show live from 8 to 10 o'clock here at weeknights on WoodwardSports.com.
I got a fat ass pimple on my forehead. That bitch hurts.
I can't see it.
Yeah, it's under the hat.
Good for you. Why do you do this? I want to see it now.
Well, that'll do it for us.
Yeah. But you use the word. You had a great point actually. Like you sold a little bit more on contenders. I just don't see Super Bowl in the conversation.
If you're to me, if you can make it to weekend number 2 in the playoffs, you're a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah,
that's how I look at it. Like, look at the Jags a few years back. They went to the AFC Championship. Like, they were a game away. I still think like you still have a chance. I know there's that. Yeah, there's still that next step that you have to take to be able to do it, but like you could still go out there and do it. Teams have went and won a Super Bowl like that. Like teams have won any championships like that in any sport that happens. So like the Detroit Lions, if they have the team to do it, they have the offensive line. That defense gets healthy. they can do it. But yesterday, I think, was just a really, like, an awakening, like, just a punch in the face. Like, hey, like, this is another contender you're going up against on the road. This might be a playoff. Like, obviously not in the AFC, but this is what a playoff team's like on the road. So, hey, welcome to the big leagues. And I think this was that first big leagues, like, hit to the face for the Detroit Lions, when now they're that next step in their development, in the organization, to where they're kind of turning the corner. That was the first big game I look at it like, to where, hey, welcome to the big leagues, fellas.
It was a dick punch for sure.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to hang out with contenders, these are games that you got to win in.
You can get punched in the dick.
You got punched right in the dick, man. And you got to get up, you got to bounce off, and see what happens in the next one.
I just hope it doesn't happen. I hope it doesn't happen again.
If you fall down, you got to stand back up. What Dan Campbell say? You know, we're gonna bite your dick on the way back up. Make sure it works.
I think for them to be contender, obviously before the break, trade deadline, and then they would have to be home. They would have to, like, win out majority of these games in the back end, because there's no way I see this team go on the road with Jared Goff performing the way he has in cold weather situations. You know,
it ain't cold in San Fran though.
That's fair.
That is actually.
But they have
fair.
a wild fan base.
They do.
So does Philly.
Yeah, Philly too.
And it's
well,
cold.
Philly's cold. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If they're on the road in Philly, it's a wrap. I already told you that's the team I'm more scared of, because like there's like AJ Brown's a fucking problem, bro.
Yeah,
I wish they had one more game on the road, like versus like in the cold. They don't. I wish like we could just go, like the Lions could just go to Lambeau week 17. Just
don't
like
they have Minnesota week 17?
Yeah, but that's a dome.
That's indoor, yeah.
So like
Chicago's outside.
I wish we could see, and that's in a couple weeks, so it's not even going to be cold. Like it will be chilly. It'll be chilly, but it's not going to be like snow.
It's a windy city though. We need to see some wind.
That's actually, maybe that's the game where Jarrett, maybe we should just throw him in one of those wind tunnels, those skydiving wind tunnels, and make him throw a couple passes, some routes.
All right, well, that'll do it for us today. Appreciate y'all tapping in.
Stop. Why are you guys trying to leave early? Relax. We got 3 minutes.
Well,
that'll do it.
All right, I was going to go ahead.
He has done that like 3 times.
No, what were you going to say?
No, go ahead. Oh, he just... I'm not gonna I think he's trolling.
He's hating on you. He's been hating on you all show.
Dispensable habits?
Yeah.
I just now called him in. The other team will make a move, and Easy will say, well, we should have made that move. Yeah.
That was stupid.
Stupid.
That'll do it for us today. Appreciate y'all tapping in the Woodward Heavyweights live on woodwardsports.com. Like and share the stream. Share it with your friends.
Booner and Broder.
For Easy. For Chris. For... Booner. I almost called him Broder. I was calling Broder Booner all day on Sunday. For Nick, we had Lucas in. I'm Spencer. We're the Heavyweights.
I
Catch
want
you guys
Booner
tomorrow.
to tell his homeless
Peace.
story, actually.